FX presents the Hindu Podcast with your host, T. Sterling Watson.
Good morning, Indubians. I'm T. Sterling Watson.
And I'm Kortney.
This is the Hindu Podcast, where morning drive time meets late night talk show, and we aim to entertain, enlighten, and provide an auditory escape with knowledge and nonsense. Thank you for stopping by and pressing play. I almost got tripped up again. So how are you doing today on this day of episode 140?
I am fabulous. I was about to say 40 and fabulous, but that's not true. Not yet.
No, you are much too young for 40.
Much too young. Much too young.
You don't look a day over 25. Girl, just,
Thank you. Thank you so much. You're too kind.
You're just whipping that hair around. Just calm down. Never mind. You got it. Flaunt it. You know what you're doing. Oh, goodness gracious. Anyway, yes, fantabulous. That's the word you used. I'm sorry. Did I see?
Well, fabulous, but fantabulous works too. I'm good with that as well.
Okay. I am. Whoa, I almost used a word that was not what I intended. Let me go look it up real quick because I well, I want to. It is a word. I'm looking it up now just to see what I almost got myself in trouble with.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is not what okay. So I was like, I am feeling rather truculent, and that is not what I'm feeling at all. And that means eager or quick to argue or fight, aggressively defiant. No, Kortney, I'm not. Sorry.
That's crazy. I know people just like that. That's very fitting for my day today. How did you know?
I mean,
you're psychic.
The vibes, it was
sending you vibes. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to send you those vibes. That's not what I'm about. But thank you for putting you put words to it.
Sometimes it happens. You know that I'm an empath, even from wherever you are across this great nation. I feel what you're feeling, and you get an attack in your squeedly spooch, and I'm like, I feel it too. And there you have it. And just for the record, I know only maybe 4 people got that reference. That was from Invader Zim. So
nice.
Carry on. I hope that was
Thank
not
you.
some kind of weird euphemism for anything.
Thank you for the throwback.
Of course. The reason why truculent came up is because I had recently read a tweet from someone, I think it was Vincent D'Onofrio, who, by the way, plays the best version of Daredevil, Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin, on the
Daredevil.
And Daredevil, correct, and the hit, and I really want to say underappreciated, or maybe it's correctly appreciated, the Netflix series. So do go check that out if you have not. For me, and I know we've done a villains list before, but he definitely ranks in my top 5 villains. Vincent D'Onofrio's performance. Yes, he's so great. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, he tweeted the word truculent, and he's like, "Are we sure that has nothing to do with elephants?" I feel like it should. And I mean, that's mostly what I'm really paraphrasing, but it was just a genius tweet because I feel like it was also layered, having to do not only with elephants, but possibly, I don't know, a certain political party that uses elephants as their mascot. So, I mean, if those layers weren't intended, I at least saw it. So I'm like, I maybe read into it more than he meant, but I feel like he meant that. So,
yes. I felt it.
Yeah. So I am not feeling truculent, but there is definitely truculency within this dancery. So yeah.
That was a good one. Thank you.
You're very much welcome. I hope it sounded like you were drinking something too, so I'm hoping
I was.
Yeah.
Almost spit it out.
Gotta be on your toes.
Oh no, that was me. That was my bad.
Especially if you're an elephant, I want to see you on your toes. So, because did you see the visual? Do you see the?
I do. It's quite amazing in my head, at least.
I told you before, and I keep reminding people that we as podcasters, we are like, mind manipulators. We put images in your brain, whether you want them there or not, because you chose to listen.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
I am controlling your mind waves. And right now you're thinking about elephants on their toes and how uncomfortable it must be for them. And like, can we stop now? I'm done with this.
I mean, it's not the most comfortable thing anyway. Even ballerinas, like there's some BAs, because the physical demand to be a professional dancer, especially ballet, and I'm very basic in my knowledge of professional dancers, mind you, but to train to just stand on point, which is when they stand on their tippy toes, is crazy. Like have you ever looked into or learned about what they have to do to train and to learn to stand on point?
I've heard from different experiences and other people that have more like knowledge, way more than I do, because like it's not something that I study or ever intended. Like, maybe I'll take. No, I never had an interest. But learning about that was definitely like, oh yeah, I'm good. I don't want to, because I do hear of injuries and just the dedication.
But yeah, I mean, it's a lot, and it's physically demanding, and of course a lot of times when you do things physically demanding, you have to mentally prepare and everything, so it's crazy. But yeah, the physical demands to particularly be a ballerina or a ballet performer, it's pretty intense. So anyway, that's your fun fact for the day.
Yes, indeed. And just a reminder that Black Widow will be coming out either this year or next year or the year after that. So
whenever it decides to come out.
Whenever it decides, because yay of ongoing current events and such.
Yeah. Forever, it seems.
And I mean, I know how excited you are to see this, and I know this because we spoke yesterday about this, and you are on point, ready to see this film. I know it. I feel the truculency in my bones of you just beating down the door to go see this movie. And yes, I am teasing you.
Yeah. Thanks.
On a scale of I don't know, where are you on seeing this film between Batman v Superman?
Oh God.
To Avengers Endgame?
Ooh, good question. Probably at Ant-Man. So maybe somewhere in the middle where I feel like I should, because it's in the MCU. And I at one time did really appreciate, okay, I take that. I still do appreciate the Black Widow character.
Okay.
And as we discussed yesterday, she really is like the Russian and woman version of Captain America. She's a super soldier, and there's so much that could have been done with her character, but they chose not to go that same direction, and they chose to spin her story in a different way that I don't agree with. So I feel like, I'm going to see it because she is an important character. She is an Avenger. She is the only she. So I want to support that. But it's also like, if I don't see it immediately, I'm not going to be sad about learning spoilers or not being part of the discussion or, things like that. Because that was my viewpoint with Ant-Man. I wasn't super excited to see it. I did without it. Actually, movies, 1 and 2, I did without them for a long time. And then when I finally did see them, I was like, yeah, I was wrong. I missed out on the initial hype or whatever. And I should have maybe given this a chance. So maybe I'll feel differently about the Black Widow movies later. But right now, y'all can have them.
All right.
I can have them.
I like the optimism there. That, I mean, it is in there, yes. Along with along with the cloudiness of shade that you are also giving it.
Good.
It's like partly cloudy.
I needed you to pick up on that part, especially.
Right.
So
it was
good.
like you're giving a fair weather forecast, like
Good.
for Black Widow and your expectations for it. And
yes.
I agree with you, although I'm definitely going to be there. And I have a helpmate that definitely is on board, because not only does she have a t-shirt, I mean, for herself, but she has a t-shirt, but she also has bought at least 2 like shopping bags, since we, are using reusable bags and whatnot. And one of them, which I almost brought into the store today. I'm like, do I feel like Black Widow? No, I'm just going to go with this generic blue bag here. So either way, I'm ready. And as I also had said before, and I've said it actually previously many times, that this movie, the timing of it, like this, I feel like it should have happened much sooner, between phases 2 and 3 or something. And I forgot exactly where I thought it would fit in well. Maybe like right after Age of Ultron, or I can't think of the other place I wanted to put it, or where I would have put it. Maybe even after Winter Soldier. So I don't know, but that's just my opinion.
Well, I think that, and I'm about to mention, I guess, a kind of a WandaVision spoiler, maybe.
Okay,
but so if you're not caught up, maybe don't listen or skip ahead for a second.
I'll put in notes somewhere.
Yeah, but like, so just like I'm not opposed to having a character like reappear in a show, or, and I guess this is an Infinity War / Endgame spoiler too, maybe. But I guess I'm not opposed to a character who's died come back into a show, like appear after their on-screen death in a show, or even have their own series. I'm not opposed to that, but I just feel like this was asked for a long time, and this is kind of like a last ditch effort to make this character a little bit more relatable, or more well-rounded. And so I just feel like it's a little bit too little too late type of situation. But with WandaVision, the way that they're including Vision, I think is done really well, because the intrigue is definitely still there. In current day Earth, he is no longer, he's dead. Like, he's dead, not just snapped, but he's dead.
Right.
And so for him to be there, it kind of it's hinted to me from the beginning that he was a part of Wanda's, reality altering abilities. And so I don't know, it just kind of works. But with Black Widow, people have been wanting and asking for like a female-led Marvel film for a long time, and just her story could have really, I don't know, rounded her out. And it just, ugh.
Yeah,
so for it to come now,
you.
it's just a little like, okay, thanks, but why?
Right.
And I don't know.
I agree.
The allure is not there.
Right. And I would have liked for her story to be a little bit more rounded out earlier. So that way, when her tragic scene comes up in Endgame, you would have felt
hit
it
a little
more
different.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, and I feel like they really tried to pull that. They tried to, in Endgame, they really tried to, I guess, hype that up a bit more, when she was one of the ones that was not snapped. And so she had to deal with the aftermath, and she kind of started leading the remaining Avengers, I guess. And her role in stepping up and being more active and fighting crime and doing all this stuff and being a directive to other folks. I mean, I and then how she was saying, well, the Avengers are my family. This is what I do. This is who I am. I don't know. It just was, it could have been done so much better. They had so many more options, and they just squandered
them. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I agree. But alas, we will eventually someday get this film and several others, because they are sticking to their guns, or their Black Widow wristband stingers, and they are going to wait until I don't know. I know it was rumored they're going to push it back. I'm hoping that they don't, because I'm ready to get my shots and my temperatures and my hazmat suits to go and watch this, and without shame. I'm going into 2021 without shame and without like listening to the people who like to remind you that doom is afoot. And I am here to naysay the doom. I am here to unscroll the doom. Oh, that came out wrong. Not unscroll, because I'm thinking of doom scrolling, but like maybe just swipe left. Because if you do that on Twitter, on a Twitter app, and you swipe left, you kind of actually go into a different part of the Twitter and just kind of look at maybe your mentions or something. I don't know. Just another screen of like, oh, look over here. There are nice, happy things to enjoy. And yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And that also like just applies to just I've been listening to some other podcast. Well, as you all know, and you, Kortney, I listen to several podcasts, and I get like several points of view on things. And one of the things that kind of keep coming up is just in terms of people who remind you that other people are bad. Like it's going to haunt them for the rest of their lives. And that's kind of how the internet is. Like we always will never forget. We'll always remember. And I feel like I get it and I understand. And there's some people that need to stay like on lockdown, maybe literally locked up. I'm looking at you, Robert Kelly, but there's some people who are banned forever.
Yeah.
And then there's other people who maybe had a faux pas like several years ago. And then you dig up like something they said when they were 20, a child, and we kind of demonize them forever and kind of cancel them or try to. And I don't know, some of that. And I'm being very vague because, as you know, Kortney, it could just apply to just about anybody these days. So,
right.
And I'm trying to look beyond that and enjoy whatever work that's out there that maybe they did or they're a part of. And I'm like, ooh, I can't watch that because of whatever reason. And although some of them I still kind of want to not support, and for various reasons. One of those things is American Gods, which I think, I don't know if you and I talked about it, but I do know I talked about it with Ashley, where we're like, you know what? American Gods only lasted for 2 seasons. And that's because of like what they did to Orlando Jones. Was it Orlando? Yeah.
That's his name. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking of other Orlandos at the moment. And
right. It's a couple of them.
Right. And I kind of wanted to do that to support him and like not continue watching because of how badly they treated him and fired him and all of that. But I'm still curious on if it's going to follow like the book and what they've done. Because I think I've heard that they introduced a couple new like deities and mythologies and whatnot, which may or may not correspond with the book. And yeah, so I'm a little curious, and you know, we can still follow some of our heroes, even the main character Shadow. For whatever reason, he has a whole lot of hair, and it makes him look really weird. But if that is the case, then that is part, I believe, of what happens in the novel. So I'm like, and even in the novel, it does take a turn where you really don't see anything that happened, like when those same people you met in the first 2 seasons, you don't see them in like a good chunk of the book. So
oh wow, okay.
So I'm like, if that's the route they're going, then they're pretty much sticking to how the novel goes. So, so the curiosity is there, and I'm thinking about jumping back on board to continue watching the show, despite like how I felt before, like, oh, that show's trash. Like, and they all the writers or whoever, you know, they don't know what they're doing. But at the same time, it's content. I love to consume things and watch things, and then I can have my critiques after. Like I feel much better critiquing or just criticizing something if I've actually seen it, rather than you know, villainizing it and saying it's terrible and I haven't even decided to watch it. Because yeah, a lot of people tend to do that these days, just based on a synopsis or maybe even a trailer. So I want to do better and just, you know, be my own critic as I normally am anyway, but actually see it first. So, or just be that person, I watched it so you don't have to kind of person. So yeah, that is my bid for eventually starting season 3, which I know started a couple weeks ago. I just haven't quite had the time to watch it, or I'm not sure if I even have access to it. I have to go check. I think Ashley has stars. And yeah.
Y'all need to have a discussion.
I know, because I think she does. I know she has a couple like of those channels. Like she has Epics, which the only thing on there that I want to watch is Godfather in Harlem, I think it's called. And I definitely want to watch it because now I have my 4th portrayal of Malcolm X because he's in like the 2nd season. And I wanted to make a Twitter poll to say, okay, we've got 4 people who have played Malcolm X. Who is your favorite? Because we've got like the OG, Denzel Washington. And then we got Marvin Van Peebles and Ali. And then we had this newest one, which I need to look up his name, which I was actually in the process of doing before we even started. But then I got distracted because I had to look up what truculent meant. Let's see. One Night in Miami, which I will say, if you have not seen that movie, you should get on it right away because it is great. It took me a long time to see it, but I decided to watch it. Was it? It wasn't my birthday. No, it was, I think, the day before. And it was just a lovely treat just seeing these 4 historical black men, Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, wow, I almost said Al Green. No, Cassius Clay before he was Muhammad Ali, and Jim Brown. All together, it's kind of based on a play, but also based on true events. Like I believe all 4 of them, I think, actually met one night in Miami, and just we don't really know, I guess, in real life what they may have talked about, perhaps, but a play was written, and then Regina King directed the movie version of this play of these 4 men.
Which makes me so happy.
It does so much. Like I really hope it makes it in time for some awards to be won, because I mean, it's just, I mean, I realize also really love movies about conversations or that just take place with just good conversation. And that's actually a topic probably for another podcast episode of like best movie conversations. Let's see. But the actor playing Malcolm X is Kingsley Ben-Adir. And then we have the most recent one, which I don't even know his name. I just saw that he was in it, and I will look it up in the future. but I definitely needed, like, it was on my list, my agenda for this particular episode, to make sure that I talk about One Night in Miami, because when it came out, I was stoked. I was ready for this movie when I heard about it, I think back in November. And I was like, yes, give this to me, inject it directly into my veins. Forget Amazon Prime. I need it delivered into my body right now. And then when it finally came out, I didn't have time to watch it, and then everybody else was watching it. And I'm going to go ahead and do it. I said I wasn't, not to anyone in particular, but I said I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to put my dad on blast here. So my dad has this habit that I do not approve of. And I know other people out there do it, and you know, I'm not going to judge them. I'm only judging my father, where he will basically bootleg films. And Daddy. He's got like he'll look for other means to access films through the interwebs. And this was one such film. And the timing of it, I found, was very interesting. It was an entire week before the movie was coming out on Amazon Prime. Not only that, the version that he watched was someone in classic old school bootleg version of someone recording a screen with coughing included and that whole grainy look of like, what? I mean, I didn't see what it looked like. He just described it to me, and he's like, what is happening here? And first of all, I just couldn't get over the fact, like, Dad, this is going to be streaming next week. You couldn't wait a whole week to watch this movie? And I think wherever it is that he found this movie, he didn't really know what it was either, but he just decided to watch it. And I think he watched it all the way through for the most part. But yeah, I was actually also surprised that, like, we were still, not that we're still bootlegging, but we're still doing the old school version of bootlegging where we're recording screens. Like I'm I'm just assuming it was on somebody's laptop and somebody took a phone and was like, okay, I'm just going to record this whole thing like right here. I'm just going to stand here or sit here with my phone recording a computer screen. Because the way he described it to me, that's the only way like you could get some kind of footage in that manner and be coughing in the middle of it. Like, this is 2021.
It's 2021. Can we not learn how to bootleg films properly?
Right. I will say there was a brief period in my life where I would obtain films by means that were less than legal. So, but the versions I had, they came like maybe straight from. I mean, maybe I didn't get it. I got it from somebody else. Like, it was torrents. They exist. So you don't get it from one person per se, but the version I watched was like, straight from, I guess, a studio, maybe from a different country because there was subtitles at the bottom that I could not read. And then as I got a little older, I actually had friends that worked with people who worked in the industry, and they would get screeners, and then they would be like, I'm done with the screener. And then they pass off to their friend, and then their friend would give it to me. So that's a bit more, maybe not necessarily legal, but it's a bit more, I can't find the word, maybe because
common, maybe
common.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that what you're trying to say?
It wasn't, but I didn't see it as nefarious. How about that? No.
Okay.
Nefarious is too strong, but it seemed okay. Like it came from an actual source. It was just not intended for my eyes, but at least my eyes didn't see it first. I was like it was like a pass me down. Like, hey, I found this disc, and like for your eyes only, but not your eyes. But yeah. Anyway, yes, I don't. There's enough streaming services out there that it really does not warrant having to get like all these illegal means of getting films. So that's gonna get off that soapbox for now, because I know I'm stepping on some toes of some people who are like, dude, why are you blowing up my spot? I like doing this way because I don't want to pay for anything. So yeah, that's true. But One Night in Miami. I keep wanting to call it All Night in Miami, but One Night in Miami, please do check it out. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's directed by the Queen, Regina King, because she is doing all the things and she's doing it wonderfully. And I hope she gets an award or 2 or 3 or all of them. So
I know she deserves all of the things.
All of them. And I am just happy that this is now the second time that we get to see Sam Cooke on screen or portrayed. So I'm hoping the next time will be a biopic of some sort. And Leslie Odom Jr. does a fantastic job playing him, and also sings all of his songs. Of course. And yeah, it's great. Like everybody in the movie did a great job. I'm just saying it was so far in this year of 2021, it's been a highlight film. So good.
It is on my list, of course. So eventually I can talk to you about it.
I realize that's why you didn't have much in there, but it's still it's fresh. And you have an MO, unless like there's other people in your household that are like, no, we're watching this now, which gives me a good idea. Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reach out, make a friend. Anyway, I guess since we're talking somewhat about Black History, it is Black History Month. Yes. Someone did ask me, yes, if we're doing anything special, and Kortney and I, we discussed it a few months ago, and we don't remember what we discussed. So, but hey,
it was really good. I remember excitedly telling you, oh my God, Sterling, we should talk about this person and their amazing achievements for Black History Month, or for just our Black History fact. And neither of us can actually recall that the specifics of that conversation. So,
well, if it was a specific person, I know who that is, and I just don't have their research in front of me. But if I thought it was more of an ongoing
Mm-hmm.
that would take up like the whole month. Like we would keep going back to this well and keep digging from it.
No, it was a specific. Well, the way I remember it was a specific person and I guess specific event too. I don't know that for sure, but it wasn't like an ongoing thing. It was like, hey, we should talk about this for a Black History fact or something. Now, I think you said, oh, okay, that's a good idea, but I have this in place for the next time. And so I think you were saving my fact for a different time. And it went into the void in the meantime. So,
well, if
hey,
that's
Black
the
History
case, then
fact,
I
come
know
back.
exactly who it is. And
Who is it? Because I don't remember.
it was, or is, and I'm trying to actually find the name so I don't, okay. I need the whole name, please. It is, Georgia's new Senator Raphael Warnock.
Yes, that was him.
Yes. I do not have all of his information. Like, like I like to prepare and talk a little bit about him and his achievements up to this point. But, so yes, that is, I honestly thought it was something else. Cause I'm like,
no,
well, I know you told me about him. I'm like, yeah, that's great. We'll talk about him. But then the Capitol thing happened. So we're like, oh, we need to talk about Eugene Goodman.
Mm-hmm. Rightfully so.
Yes. So then it's like, oh yeah, we'll do Warnock next. I just put the names together. Warnock. I said Warnock because the other one is Ossoff.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
Right.
Okay. Well, okay. You know what? I love when a mystery is solved and you come to some sort of conclusion and some sort of closure. So this makes me very happy.
Great. I mean, I'm glad because I was like, I really felt there was like, was there some like event or not an event, but like, oh, I found a bag of treasures. Like we can share these. We can like sparse them out and over the month. But I mean, let's not mistake or be wrong here that this whole Senate race was in itself a treasure. So,
oh man, it's great. So great.
So we will make that promise to you, dear listener, that we will tell you more about Warnock on the next episode. Since I don't have that prepared in front of me, I just pulled up a random article and I haven't even read it at all. So I don't even want to try to read it now. But Kortney, my dear, I believe you actually have a Black History fact for us today.
Black History facts.
I do. So we all know Beyonce. Yes.
No,
Queen Bee.
No.
Oh, well, she was in Destiny's Child for a number of years, and then she went off and did her own thing, and she's like the boss in. Does she do R&B? Is it hip hop? I don't know. It's one of those both.
It's like her
I don't
own
know,
genre, kind of like Michael Jackson with his
exactly. She's commonly referred to as Queen Bee. She has a beehive, so literally don't say anything bad about her in public because they will come for you. So she's amazing. But anyways, I know you know who she is. If you don't, you've been living under a rock. But I chose I was reminded actually and wanted to highlight an amazing stunt that she pulled that was just queen material. Okay, so back in 2013, Beyonce released her self-titled album, Beyonce. And that was back in December 2013. I think it actually released December the 13th, 2013. And so she first digitally released it. So this was before Lemonade, but this was I want to say her first digital album. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know that 100%, but this was a digital album that she first released digitally back in 2013. And then she wanted to partner with Target to sell the physical copies of the album, because remember it had this it was like a CD DVD combo that had 14 tracks, 17 videos.
Right.
But again, this was before this.
Yeah.
This was before Lemonade. But I want to say it was her first digital album, or first like
a visual album too.
Visual album is what I'm trying to say. Yes. So she wanted to partner with Target to release the physical, like the hard copy version of it, but they declined. They decided against it because she had already released it digitally and they didn't like that. So instead, this boss decided to partner with Starbucks, who, if you don't know, Starbucks is within many Targets, kind of like Subway. I don't know how it is around the country, but here in Arkansas, many Subways or other restaurant chains are like within Walmarts.
Mm-hmm. It's here too in Connecticut. Yes.
Okay, good. So Target or Starbucks is, they have some kind of deal or some kind of setup to where they are within Targets. Not all Targets, but a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
So Beyonce the Queen, decided to partner with Starbucks to for them to release her physical copy of Beyonce, her album, and they accepted. So she basically got what she wanted, and in a better way, maybe, because she was able to still release her album physically, the physical copies of it, and basically throwing it in Target's faces. And I just love this amount of strategizing and this amount of, I don't know, pettiness.
Yeah, it's like an elite level petty move. Like,
it's elite petty, and
I'm still selling it in your store, but you're not getting the money from it.
Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth. I couldn't have said it better. That's exactly what she did. And I don't have the stats for this album, but I remember this move, and it was iconic then. It remains iconic. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just this is what I aspire to be, this is what I aspire to do in my lifetime.
So, because it happens in every business, and even I'm sure you have like researched many writers and how they maybe pitch their books to different publishers or even stores or whatever, and they're like, no, and here you are. You'll be like, okay, well, fine, I will have it published here, and then
and it blows up. There's many a Netflix story where that's happened, where a show or a pitch has been declined from a major cable network or whatever, and then Netflix or another streaming service decides to pick it up, or even YouTube will decide to, they blow up from YouTube. It brings me back to the old adage that there is more than one way to skin a cat. It reminds me that if you have a goal in mind and you are committed to that goal and you believe wholeheartedly in that goal or that mission or that project, you're going to receive no's along the way, and you're going to be discouraged along the way. And honestly, that's just part of the process, and you just have to kind of accept that. But that doesn't mean, just because you receive a no, doesn't mean that no is the final nail in the coffin. That's just a roadblock. That is just a detour that every creator or creative, I guess, faces when they're trying to bring a project to fruition. So expect those roadblocks, expect those no's, and then keep it moving, because if you truly believe in that project or in that thing that you're trying to bring to the world, you will make it happen no matter what.
That's like some self-encouragement for you too. Like, you're preaching to yourself right now.
I'm speaking to myself. I really am, because this is definitely applicable to stuff I got going on. But it really is. If I had
a keyboard right now, I start playing the cues in the background. Just right, exactly. Just but you're right. You're absolutely right.
But I love this story because it's elite petty. But no, it's just a good business decision. You want to do a thing and they say no, that's fine. That's their prerogative. But if you feel the need to still make this thing happen, then you make it happen no matter what. So
right.
I love it.
I do remember the album. I think once it started to gel a bit more, and yes, it was like the first like digital album because you couldn't get a hard copy. A friend of mine had the album. She wanted me to listen to it. And I'm like, I'm not like a huge Beyonce fan, and I wasn't about to download it. Like, I didn't even have like an iTunes account to download it. So she was like, here, listen to it on mine. And I still didn't really listen to much of it, but still it's good. It's fine. But I do remember the visual album part of it, and I still have not seen all the videos, but just the fact that there was like, I believe like a music video for every song, which for me at that time was unheard of.
Yeah, well, there's actually more videos than there were tracks. So I don't know. So I'm a fan, but I'm not like a super fan. So I don't know all of the songs, or rather, I don't know all of the videos either. But the fact that there were more videos than actual songs is kind of neat.
Yeah.
I'm sure there were some interludes. And listen, don't get me to speculate because I don't know. But the fact that she did this thing and it was, kind of groundbreaking, and then did a thing that was even more groundbreaking, it's just neat. It's really neat.
Definitely. And since you brought that up, that did bring back to memory something I alluded to you, well, off mic, that I wanted to recommend, and I realized I never sent it to you, and I apologize. And
goodness.
I know time got away from me, which the irony of me even saying that, because what I wanted to send you was Jack Garrett's music, or rather visual album. And the version I was going to send you was Jack Garrett himself actually kind of giving commentary throughout the music video itself, like the whole entire piece. And I had sent you one of the tracks that had really like resonated with me, the song called Return Them to the One. And I just love the instrumentals. I love the music, or rather the lyrics. And I think for me, I was kind of interpreting it my own way, and then I found other ways to interpret it, but it was also just really upbeat and invigorating. And then I saw the music video to it. And it's funny because the first day I saw, or the first time I saw the music video, it was actually before we were about to start recording. And I'm like, ooh, I need to let Kortney know about this at some point, but not right now because I need to focus on what we're going to talk about. And not only that, but I started realizing that I was seeing other music videos from the same album, and they all looked very similar. Like, I wonder if these are all connected. And turns out that they were. It's actually part of like a long movie, but the Return Them to the One video is all in one take, or one shot, or one take, same thing. So that's something that always gets me, because I love that.
Yes.
And I have a
you
habit
do love a good one shot.
I certainly do. I will sit there like and it's something I don't even look for. I just happen to notice it, because sometimes you'll watch something like, wow, that's a lot of cuts going on. And then other times you're like, did they cut at all? And then once that kind of triggers in you, you're just looking and waiting for that to happen. You're like, where's the cut? Where's the cut? Is it going to happen? And then they keep going, and you just get more and more excited. Like, they keep going. It's been 5 minutes. Like, and it's the little things like that.
It's definitely a style, and it's an editing choice. And I think it's just an effective, or maybe if not done correctly, an ineffective way to tell a story. So, it's just a storytelling technique.
It is. So as for Jack Garrett's visual album, most of the songs make it. There's like maybe 2 or 3 that didn't make the cut, but he explains why. And what I also really loved about it, because he did his commentary, and I missed all of this. This happened back in June last year, so I didn't even see it live. But what he did, and this, Kortney, is where it's going to get you, is that this visual album is designed to be played on a loop, because the first song starts out in such a way where it looks like Jack Garrett is laying on the floor, and then he starts singing, and then all of a sudden, like, the floor pulls away, and like, oh, he's not laying on the floor, he's actually standing, and now he's in this room dancing with all the light, and it's amazing. And then it goes through all these things, all these different songs, and then the last song plays, and then he is walking back over, and it looks like he's falling down to the floor, and kind of in that same position that he was in the first video. So it could just pick up from there.
I love it. Oh my gosh. I do love a good loop.
Yes. So, and it's amazing the story that he tells and what's actually being told within like each song. Like they're all connected, and it talks about like from the last album he put out and how he had like battled like depression and anxiety and all these other things, and like uh, dealing with like being a creative and an artist and all of it was really great. And I'm like, okay, I really need to share this, like at least with you, but also with other people, because for me, discovering him was like, it's like, wow, this is like the music that I kind of need to at least get through work. Like I love hearing different things and just music that actually means something. And I mean, there's a lot more of that out there. And don't get me wrong, I love fun stuff too and nonsense. Of course, I love nonsense. And I believe one time I even shared a song from Vin Diesel, I think, with you, which was, I think, a nonsense song. Yes. I don't remember.
Nonsense song. Okay.
I don't recall what it was about, but I'm almost tempted to go look it up just to be like, oh, right. Yes, I remember this now. But yeah. So yeah, I will I'm going to write it down so I don't forget this time to send it to you, because it's an hour. And I think I even told you that too. It was like, if you have an hour of time, please watch this. Or even if you, and I say time because that's actually that is the first track on the album, not the visual album, but the album. And the first track is called Time. And the whole thing is great. So either listen to the album or watch the visual album. And I don't know if like YouTube, they allow playlists and whatnot. I'm not sure if he has a playlist already set up with all the videos connected to each other. But either way, I'll send you the one where he's giving a commentary, so that way you get the backstory and the song, and yeah, it's all good.
Nice. Yes, thank you.
Yes, I do love when artists do that and are they able to. And oh, by the way, this was shot, I think, pre-COVID. I think I would have to watch him talk about it again, which makes it that much more like, I mean, because again, he's the only one in these videos, so.
Yeah.
Whether it was or wasn't. And you put a lot of work into it too. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds awesome.
It truly is. I thought I had something related to that as well, music video wise. Just that I do love music videos that connect with each other, or they all kind of have a running storyline. I do. The other one who did that this past year was The Weeknd. So his album, what is it? Blinding Lights or something? I don't forget what it's called, but all of his videos tell a story too. Like they're all connected, where he's out partying in Vegas. And at some point I think either gets beaten up or hit or something. And then he starts chasing a woman as a killer type.
Yikes. Okay.
I mean, that's actually how I was introduced to it, because I liked that song that was used for that part of the video. I'm like, wait a second. All of these videos, he's wearing like the same red suit that's on the album cover. I'm like, I wonder if there's a story being told here. And sure enough, there was. And there was even one more video that came out, I think a couple weeks ago. And I think it's still connected to the story, even though, spoiler alert, I think his character got killed at some point.
Whoa.
But it goes even deeper than that, because he is even using the same character whenever he goes to events. Like I think he went to Jimmy Kimmel and like his whole face was all bandaged up.
Oh, wow.
And then he released like the video like the next day, and then the bandages were off and he had like drastic plastic surgery.
Whoa. Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow. I love performance art.
Performance art. Yes.
It makes me so happy.
So I was definitely here for it. Like, okay, he's another artist that I'm not really like that crazy about. Like, I don't really consider myself a fan, but I've listened to enough tracks from the album that I'm like, you know what? Okay, maybe you're not too bad of a character here.
Yeah.
And I even went backwards and looked at some of his older material, mostly through music video. I'm like, okay, I see what you're going. Where you going here? All right. Trying to make me a fan. I see what you're doing over here, but not too fast. And you watch yourself over there. Exactly. Young sir. And a part of my apprehension And it really has nothing to do with him. It was more so this woman who I believe I may have told you about before a while ago. Because people who know me know that occasionally I'll wear my hair like untwisted, or I'll have a twist out basically.
Mm-hmm.
And this old woman came up to me and surprised me for several reasons. Because A, you're a complete stranger. Why are you talking to me? Leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
And this was before COVID. I'm just always like, who are you? Get away. But no, but she came up to me and was like, you look like The Weeknd. And
Oh, wow.
like,
Really?
yeah, really. And I'm like,
What?
okay.
I don't see it. I mean, maybe the hair, but literally that's it. Because not all Black people look the same. Some of us do, but not all of us.
But no, yeah. And even the way that my hair was, it really didn't look like The Weeknd. Because I mean, I did not have like a whole spider's nest going on. So because yes, I even said that when he had that particular hairstyle, which I really didn't like it. I was so happy when he cut it all off. I'm like, oh, thank you. But then he just looked that much more. Okay, maybe this is me now, but he looked that much more like Maxwell, because I kind of felt like at times he sang like him between him and or Michael Jackson. And I'm like, who are you trying to be? That's also why I had such a hard time liking him, because he seemed like so many different other people, or at least he sounded that way. So I'm like, I don't know if I like you. I just can't. Your hair is weird. You sound like other people I know. Nope. But yeah, he has his machinations, and I'm like, okay, all right. I'll give you a chance. And he got in. There is music. There are songs on several playlists of mine. How dare you? But no, he's a very talented guy. So because he's been on many other songs. I think he may have written many other songs, even if he doesn't sing them. So, but yeah, definitely, I would say it is worth the journey, and I know it's worth the journey because to this day,
love the emphasis there.
Yes, and I can hear like the reverb from like the mic stand as I'm banging on this little desk here. But once I had watched like all those music videos, like they still kind of like stick to me. Like I remember like later that night, I was still thinking about them, and it's only like now months later that I'm actually telling you about it, versus I could have told you like months ago, like, hey, go check this out, and I would guarantee you I'd still be thinking about it months later, like I am right now.
Right.
Because there's just something about that seedy underbelly of a buzzing city like LA, like Vegas, that is just, I don't like it, but
yeah,
I know it exists, and it just crawls under your skin in such a way that it just leaves you feeling icky, and you can't really get away from it or get it out of your system. And that is
got a certain level of grind to it.
Yes. And as much as I don't like it, I'm kind of here for it. It's weird. And there's even a whole like subset of LA based movies that are jam packed with this griminess that I may have seen only once, and I don't want to see it ever again because I don't like the way that it makes me feel. Like the movie could be great, but because of that grime, like gross. I need to go bathe.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, are there any pieces of art that do that for you too? I don't want to leave it to just music or movies, but that just kind of give you like an icky feeling after consuming it.
The first thing that immediately comes to mind is the Coven series, or the American Horror Story Coven. So, I love witches, and, that's my thing. So I wanted to give American Horror Story Coven a try, but I watched like the first episode and I just felt like it just got into my soul in such a way that I said, you know what? Maybe these witches aren't for me. This show is not for me. So it just gave me a kind of just type of feeling, and I never went back to it. And I'm glad I didn't, because I've learned that like if my spirit is telling me something, or if I'm having a bad feeling about something, I should maybe back away from it, or at least, examine why I don't like it. So that's one thing that immediately comes to mind. I don't know if it's exactly the same, but that's the first thing and immediate thing that comes to my mind just off top.
Well, I mean, it is a disturbing or upsetting feel. So those are better words, I guess, that would describe, because I usually like leave feeling a bit disturbed in a way.
Unsettled, maybe.
Yes. Another movie for me that I remember watching, it might have been like late at night, back when like Independent Film Channel was new, and the movie Crash came on. And it's not the one you're thinking of. So,
not with Sandra Bullock and those other people.
Not that one. No, there's a slightly older movie called Crash, starring our friend Ultron, James Spader.
Oh, okay, okay. What was this one about?
Well, brace yourselves, and parents, if you're familiar with earmuffs, get ready. So, so basically, James Spader is the star of this vehicle. Wow, my choice of words there. That was an unintended pun, because
that was pretty good, actually. Good job.
I bow before you. He gets into it with this guy. Like, basically, it's fetishizing car crashes, and they kind of turn on like a people who get off on car accidents and victims in car accidents.
Ew.
And this was like one of the not one of the first films to have an NC-17 rating, but I think it still carries one. And it's, I think, because of how much sexual activity actually happens in this movie. And it's really kind of unsettling, and like, and I think even the director, I want to say it's Paul Voorhees, and I could be wrong. In fact, I'll look it up really quickly. But he does make movies that are kind of out there in that sense, where like let's push boundaries a bit. Yeah. And it's nope, David Cronenberg. Yeah, I knew it was somebody who was weird, but yeah, David Cronenberg. he directed this movie and wrote it too, because he is out there. And like a 63% Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, it sounds about right.
So now this movie wasn't about like videoing car crash victims and the crashes themselves, was it?
That was part of it, and I can read you the synopsis right here. So,
because this is sounding really familiar. I feel like I've not seen it for sure, but I feel like the premise is sounding very familiar.
It reads this way. Crash is about the strange... Oh, let me try to go creepy here. Crash is about the strange lure of the auto collision, provoking as it does the human fascination with death and the tendency to eroticize danger. Most motorists will slow down to stare at the scene of a collision. They may feel their pulses quickening and becoming aware of the fragility of their own bodies. The characters of Crash carry this awareness a step further, cherishing and nurturing it. For them, a car crash is a sexual turn-on and a jolting life force they come to crave. March 21st, 1997.
Ew.
David Cronenberg's Crash.
You know, I guess I was with it, and not with it as if I want to see it, but with it like, okay, that makes sense. All up until they turned it, sexual.
A step further,
like,
yeah.
Like, no, I actually don't like. But I mean, I'm not saying that that's not a thing with people, but okay. Wow. Okay.
And it's starring people that you've seen and know, like I said, James Spader, Holly Hunter, Rosanna Arquette, who I've heard is also just weird in general, and Elias Cotes. I've never really known how to say his name, but I've seen him in other things before. But between him and James Spader, like although Spader has made choices in other things that have always kind of like he
been
is
super weird.
Right.
He's a character, that's for sure.
He truly is. And I really love the energy that he brought when he was on The Office and just how he would just like turn and look at the camera or just
so strange and so weird and so unsettling every time.
You just don't know what he's going to do next and like
right.
what he'll
and that's
say.
So unsettling.
So there may not be like, I mean, yes, there is that movie, but like him as a person just gives me that grime kind of feeling. I may
that's
need to go.
That's a good descriptor. Grime.
Yeah. Another one who just, it's more so sleaze than grime is Billy Bob Thornton. I never liked him.
I get sleaze from him. I don't get grime. Like I get like he's sleazy and it's such a, like I was trying to just now think of the differences between what's sleazy and what's grimy, but it's so subtle and so like the words to describe it don't come to me, but I know that there's a difference, and I just feel like Billy, he's sleazy.
Well, what's sleazy for me is I'm thinking also what it actually rhymes with it is a little bit greasy too. Like he just kind of will just slip. Like he looks like someone he's dirty. He's sweating all the time. And even if you shook his hand, it would be limp and wet. Like what is wrong with you? Why are you like this?
Disgusting.
Like he's one of those people who always might have his hair wet and you're not really sure why. And because I mean, I've seen people like this in real life. Like, why is your hair wet all the time? And it's like the middle of the day. It's hot outside. Like, I mean, it's like not from sweat.
Like there's just something's wrong here. Why are you like this?
Yes.
And,
or he just says things and it just feels like there's some kind of like euphemism or
like he's undressing you with his eyes, maybe.
Right.
Yeah. Or trying to appearance again.
Some ulterior motive is going on.
Like he's trying to kill you in his head or something.
Something. He just wants to do something unsavory to you. And
unsavory.
And what doesn't help is that he plays a lot of roles that do that. So.
Yes, exactly. Well, he had a very interesting personal life that was very public, and
true.
That doesn't help his persona there. So
not at all.
I don't think our like feelings are just out of the blue. We there's reasons that I feel you and I feel the way we do. So
and
they're not uncalled for.
Yeah, these are people that if we see them in the street, that we will cross the street and like
exactly.
No, not today, sir. Not today, Satan.
You ain't getting me.
Get over there.
You ain't getting me today, Satan.
Do not look this way. I am not shaking your hand. No.
I don't want you.
I know I'm on record saying all of that, and then one day I may find myself in his presence and be like, I heard what you said about me.
Oh, God. And then you just run the other way. Go into the light. Into the light.
It's all jokes. All jokes. Have a good day, sir.
This is just an entertainment podcast. Nothing, no harmful statements are meant by this.
I will point to my naked wrist, like look at the time. Yes, I mean yes. All statements made. They do not reflect the company. They are all jokes. This is for entertainment purposes, just like what you see on Miss Cleo's commercials. Like this is for entertainment purposes only. So
that's it. Literally,
save me from liability and all that goodness there. Whew. I was going to say on to happier things, but right now I'm thinking about the movie Bad Santa, which I did not like because Billy Bob Thornton was in it. He was really.
I didn't see it. I think probably because he was in it, but you know.
However, I will say a great example in a very, very little, like he had a cameo in the movie Love Actually, where he played like the American president visiting Hugh Grant's prime minister. Yeah.
That's
and if you don't want to watch any of his movies, you can watch Love Actually and get that same sleazy, skeezy feeling because that's exactly what he plays. Just a conniving, just like, ooh, I want your like sexy intern lady.
Oh.
Which pushes Hugh Grant character into hero mode and like, absolutely not, sir. You will get out of here, sir. And just that was
pretty
not
good. Hugh Grant.
I thank you so much. I probably should have stuttered more because that's what he does. But
when in acting mode he does. Yeah, he does do that. It's okay. I understood the gist.
I feel like I should watch that show that he just came out with on HBO, which I've been hearing about, but not much. I've just been hearing it's good, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to. So,
I mean, maybe just put on the list for later.
Perhaps. I'm still trying to finish. Oh my goodness, I do not remember the name of it, but Kaylee Kulo. I don't know how to say her name.
Kuoko?
Yes, her. Oh yeah, you watch Big Bang Theory, so yeah. You know her.
I do.
I have not finished that series. I keep thinking it's like a half an hour show, but it's like a whole hour. I'm like, I don't have time.
You have time for everything else, but not that show. I see you. Like I see you.
Hey,
it's all right.
Okay, but I'm just saying. Because some people will just rewatch things over and over and over again. Like, there's new stuff. Go watch the new stuff.
It's me. You're pointing me out.
I am. I just didn't want to use all of my fingers to point you out. I was just trying to. I was gesturing in your general direction. Like
whatever.
Right.
Whatever.
I was pointing over like where Billy Bob Thornton was, and you just happened to be like on the other side. I was doing a general wave, so I could have been talking about him.
Keep digging that hole. It's not deep enough.
Until I strike oil, and then I win, right? Right.
You win something, that's for sure.
Sounds like some truculency going on in this dancery again.
Oh Lord.
Where's Mary J. Blige at? Got a remix for her. Oh, well, one thing that truculent was not the word for today's Word Watch.
Word Watch.
In fact, I'm trying to remember if we did it in the last episode. I want to say it was Gigaw. Did we say that last time?
That does not sound familiar to me.
Okay, great.
Not saying we didn't use it, but it's not ringing a bell there. Okay,
great. So what the word means, and I'm really hoping I'm pronouncing it right. I thought I was. Is Gigaw, Gewgaw. It's a noun. It's a showy thing, okay. Especially one that is useless or worthless.
I love it.
Like your what is it? The shiny box. What is it? They have the special box of like a DVD, and I want to call it a black box. It's not a black box. It's a special showy box that some of these limited edition movies will come out in. And oh man, a steel box. I think it's a steel case. I think that's what they call it. But when you get your steel case limited edition Bad Santa DVD box set, because there are sequels, that would be, and you put on like a on your shelf, that would be a Gigaw because it's useless and worthless, but it's a showy thing.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, look what I got. I'm like, yeah, nobody cares. Get it out of here. Or little trinkets, or even better is if you had a special MAGA ornament, Christmas ornament thing that you're really proud of. Yeah, that's useless and worthless. Get that out of here. Yeah.
Right.
Don't want it.
Like, you can go burn it now. Thanks.
Or
now and forever, actually.
I took it off your tree and accidentally dropped it in the incinerator. I'm so sorry.
Oh, or I dropped it on the tile floor. It's in a million pieces. Sorry.
On your floor, so you have to pick it up. Clean it.
And find the little shards months later.
Right. Still. Like glitter, which I hate. I hate glitter so much.
Yeah. But glitter has its place, that's for sure.
In the trash. Yes, I know.
No. It has its place. Like if you're trying to get back at somebody, just sprinkle glitter everywhere.
Oh, that seems, I mean, I'm with you on the level of malevolence there, but at the same time, you still risk getting some of that on you. It's like
it's well worth the risk though. Sometimes you have to just take a leap of faith, and sometimes you get burned, that's okay. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
But that's a never-ending fire, just like that poor town,
That
I think in
mine
Pennsylvania.
with the mine underneath
Exactly.
the ground.
This is why I love you. I love you so much because
I love you too.
I didn't have to finish
Mm-hmm. I knew where
describing
you were going.
Centralville.
I don't agree with you, but I knew where you were going.
Well,
it was Centralville?
I believe so. And no, I don't want to go. You knew I was going there. I don't want to actually, I kind of do want to go there though. Because it's a ghost town.
We're kind of there already. Yeah.
What, Centralville?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Were you talking about like physically going there?
Literally going?
Were you
yeah.
like, I don't know if I want to go there, you know?
I mean, it's not like radioactive.
I feel like it is though. They say that it's not radioactive and then we go and then whoop, radioactivity happens and then we're dead.
Radioactivity happens. I mean, it's not like, what is the other actual radioactive place? Chernobyl. It's not like Chernobyl. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It is another ghost town, yes, but that's actually dangerous to go there.
Sure, whatever. I mean, I ain't going, so you can try it out and report back.
And Centralville is maybe not the official name. I think it used to be called that, but it's actually Centralia.
Why did they change the name?
I don't know. Maybe people like me thought it was Centralville, or I think because I've heard a couple stories about it, and I think maybe they may have had that name, but they realized that maybe some other towns had that name, so they wanted to distinguish themselves. Like, oh no, we're actually the center, so we're Centralia, and we're going to be here forever.
No, you want to go to Centralville, which is not the radioactive town. That's down the road 30 miles. That's what they were trying to do.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So Centralville is alive and poppin' town, but Centralia is the...
Don't go there, you'll die.
It's not radioactive. It's just... It describes it here as a near ghost town, because I do know that there are people that still live there.
Right.
And
those folks who just are holding their ground.
As of 2017, there are still 5 people living there. So
I wonder if they are still there.
One of them is Billy Bob Thornton. It's where he currently lives.
Absolutely. That is a known fact.
Mm-hmm. And you heard it here first on the True Facts here, which is one of the new segments here at the Indu podcast is True Facts or Truth Facts. I'm sorry, Truth Facts. And that's especially for my good friend Ariel, who I remember at one point I would tweet my random truth facts, and she would get so annoyed because I would call them truth facts as if it wasn't redundant enough, but they're truth because I believe it. So, so truth fact: Billy Bob Thornton, famous sleazy actor, lives in Centralia, Pennsylvania. Wow, this is the first episode that will get me in trouble.
And you heard it here first, folks.
I've already admitted to watching illegal movies and how much I dislike certain people who are in films. But it's all good. I mean, you're getting the realness here. So that's what you come here for. And and this whole episode is just some useless shiny thing you put on a shelf and does not mean anything. So do not come get us. This is for entertainment purposes. Call me now. Well, I think that just about does it. Although I did say before the show we were going to talk about space because I left out so many space related things over the last couple episodes. I'll give you one. Okay.
Alrighty.
Nope, I don't want to do that one. It was one about a exoplanet that was found. Now, I don't believe this is the whole article. Yeah, because they want me to join. But I feel like it's enough, so I will do that. In the fall of 2017, astronomers in Hawaii spotted something strange speeding through the solar system. You already know what this is about. The reddish cylinder was like no comet or asteroid they had ever seen. They concluded it came from the stars and named it, oh wow, Oumuamua, which means first messenger in the language of the islands. The longer they studied it, the deeper the mystery grew. Avi Loeb suggested that it might be an alien probe launching a media maelstrom that has yet to die down. No crackpot is Dr. Loeb. He's the department chair of the astronomy department. And I don't know where, because that's where the article stops. And this is from the Wall Street Journal. And they want me to have a membership so I can keep reading this article. But it was basically the headline, is that an alien probe? A Harvard astronomer might think it might be. So we've got one astronomer that thinks it's a probe. I read elsewhere that someone thinks it's space junk, which I think I may have read that last time. If I did not, I might still have that article too, which all of this is still fascinating to me, that everyone is trying to speculate what this is. Oh, that was the longer article. Because the uncensored guide to Oumuamua, aliens and that Harvard astronomer. So yes, to read that one later.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the one I meant to get into. I never finished reading that one. But I also have to keep in my mind how to pronounce it correctly based on how I was pronouncing it before.
It's so weird, and I still butcher it every time. I say it wrong in my head, and then I sometimes will say it wrong out loud, and then I'm like, wait, we've decided that is not correct. Is
it my fault?
So
because of how I was pronouncing it?
No, I mean, because it looks like it the way that is incorrect to me better, I guess, phonically, it looks more phonically correct the way that we were doing it incorrectly.
Right.
That's just kind of it.
I'm actually curious how you were pronouncing it.
Ooh, I don't want to.
You got the first syllable.
No,
because you just said nope, but no, you didn't.
Not doing this. So
no.
Oumuamua.
So yes, it was like how I was saying it before, because
it looks like it.
Yes, you're absolutely right. That's how I was saying it for a while, and then I would just really just go in there and go for it. And in my mind, it was like how Darcy would say Mjolnir, but she would call it like Mew Mew or something, and just using that gusto and excitement. And I would put just an invisible exclamation point at the end of it. So just, and you have to do that even on the radio. I have to read names, and you have to read it with confidence, so it makes it sound like you know what you're talking about. So, and I just power through that name, even though I don't know how to actually say it. Even if I do the quick research, I'm like, okay, I can't find anyone who's actually said this person's name on record. So I'm just going to go for it. And like, Dr. Oumuamua said, blah, 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 blah. So, and you just power through.
I mean, you have to stick with your guns, that's for sure. But, after you find the truth, you change it. And then you realize, maybe my pronunciation was not good. It was not smart.
Right. But I still love it anyway. And for me, down deep inside, just like Pluto still being the 9th planet, which I'm starting to come to terms with, because there are a lot of, it's just Pluto is the leader of those dwarf planets. So that
is correct.
That's how I've kind of come to terms with it. But in my heart, in the basements of my heart, it will always be Oumuamua. So, and that is.
But do you have to say it with such aggression?
You have to, because it's a messenger. It's here to be like heard, here to be known. It wants.
Sure.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, I thought you said sir, as if like.
No, I said sure. Okay.
So.
I hear you. I affirm you.
So where are you on the scale of, and I know I started off the episode this way, but is it a probe or is it junk? Like it literally looks like poop, but is it actual junk, like from space?
I think it's a probe. Well, I want to believe it's a probe at least. So I don't know. And just the fact that it disappeared, because did we ever figure out where it went or who took it? Or
that's actually something I mean, maybe that's in the article that I haven't read yet. And I'm actually curious about that. And I may even go to YouTube to see if they have any updated like video pieces, so that way I can hear it pronounced correctly a bit more often. Not that it's going to stop me.
And then ridicule them if they do not pronounce it correctly.
Right. Like I'll do a response video saying it's meow meow, and then and that's it. that's like my only critique. Like I won't have anything to refute their theories.
Them.
Right. Just that's it. Just that. So, but you can always rest assured that here at the Undo Podcast, we will keep you updated as soon as we know some breaking information about Oumuamua. We will be sure to let you know that, hey, Oumuamua is actually a abandoned ship, and it's just floating out in space.
Yeah.
So what happens to the inhabitants of Oumuamua?
Right. So, I like that theory.
I'm kind of thinking a little bit of Event Horizon, even though that was humans that were on that ship.
A terrifying movie. Oh
which
my gosh.
I still have not seen like in completion, and I'm not sure if I
Me
will.
neither.
Yeah.
Never gonna see it.
That's a different kind of unsettlingness.
So, oh my goodness. I just feel like it's based in reality, so it's even the possible reality, so it's even worse than any horror movie that we could ever think of. I don't know.
Right. Well, I mean, it goes back to yet again what we've always believed and told people, that space is out there to kill you. Well, okay, we didn't say it. I think Neil deGrasse Tyson said that, but
and then we just adopted it because it's absolutely true.
Space wants to kill you, and so does the ocean. So yeah.
Yeah, man.
So stay safe on land.
I get it though.
Yeah, because they don't want you, and we're not for them. They're not for us. Let's just stay safe here, and we'll Zoom with
with
everybody
space in the ocean.
Yeah, the fish they get their little Zoom accounts, and it's probably different for them. I don't know how they type with their little mouth or whatever. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, but now see, full circle. I got you thinking about fish using Zoom. On their little laptops, trying to type with their little fins, and end up accidentally swimming away from the computer because that's how they navigate.
Oh my gosh. Full circle. Thank you.
Full circle is what we do here. Do you have any shout outs or but recommendations? Yes, I forgot about the recommendations. Do you have any recommendations?
No recommendations today, but definitely follow your dreams, stay the course, be kind to everybody that you meet, because you just never know what their journey is and what they're going through. And that's it for today.
Good. I also don't think I have any recommendations. I was trying to think of anything that I had consumed lately that I thoroughly enjoyed and want to share with people, but it's nothing that's coming to mind of like, oh my God, you need to see this. I started The Mighty Boosh on Hulu, and it is the ridiculousness comedy, British comedy that I think I needed just to give me like that escape and that fun and that hilarity.
A good British comedy.
Yes. I think you might actually like it because it's just weird and it's out there. But yeah, so I guess that would be my recommendation. And and since we had already discussed this, do look out, and I guess probably in the next month, because I think that's when WandaVision will end. We'll have a special WandaVision themed episode where we just talk about it all. I know we got a little bit here in this episode, and I believe we will at least have a special guest who is a regular,
ready and willing.
Yes. So yeah, we'll keep you on for that. So yeah, thanks so much. Now, do you have like any shout outs or where people can find you should you want to be found?
I would love to be found. You can find me on the Twitters at IMKHinton, where you can find me tweeting about everything from food prep tips to looking around my house. Let's see, flowers and staying hydrated, because that is very important now and always. So hit me up, follow me.
Great. I'm sorry, I'm feeling guilt because my water bottle is so far away.
Listen, there's no guilt. This is just a friendly reminder that you might want to drink some water. It's probably whatever you consume today, it's probably not enough. So just drink a little bit more before bed. Actually,
no, what I consumed, like the last thing I consumed, was not something I need to consume more of. It's a little bit of an energy drink because I was feeling a little sluggish. And it's
I'm not judging
already
you.
it's late in the night, and I need to go to sleep at some point. I didn't drink all of it. I
But do
didn't
you
drink all
go?
of it.
Do you need to go to sleep?
Well, I do need to at some point. Yes.
Sure.
Huh?
At some
Yeah.
point, yeah.
I'm a little sad. Oh my God. I do have a recommendation. And I also have to say thank you to my good friend, Kathy, who is now my coworker. And she gave me a belated birthday gift of the Dunkin' cereal. So I now have both flavors. I have the mocha latte and the caramel macchiato. I really like the caramel macchiato a little bit more than the mocha latte. And
Nice.
I will say that the pieces that you think would be the chocolate pieces, they're actually coffee flavored, and it's delicious.
Ooh, so nice little surprise there for your taste buds.
Yes, they are. And the little marshmallows, I think that's where the caramel macchiato part taste comes in, or the mocha one. I need to go back and revisit that one. But highly recommend those or that cereal if you are into cereal. It, like I said, it tastes like coffee. I do not think any caffeine is involved, because that would be, I don't know, disastrous if you decided to give it to children. I don't know why they would want coffee flavored cereal, but
hey, I know kids who like coffee.
that is true. You have a point there. But yes, definitely recommend that. And that also brought back to memory that I have a coupon that is expiring tonight to get my free birthday coffee from Dunkin', and I'm sad. So.
Hey, you could still use it. It's still today, so go for it.
You're right. But I mean, we can be honest here. And I mean, you and I, we have discussed this many times. Like, once we're in for like the night, we're in.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. So, I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay.
I'm not going back out there. No, because they have not shoveled the stairs to get back to my car. So I am not going back out there.
No. No, thank you. Stay inside forever.
I mean, it's close.
No.
Like, Dunkin' is close, but not close enough for me to. And I love coffee, and I would save it. I would get the coffee and get it for the morning. But
well, that counts. But yeah, no, your mental health and your physical health is much more important than instant gratification.
Right. And plus, I still have 3 more coupons for free beverages, so I'll be all right. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So
you'll live. You'll live through this.
I will. And I'm going to work on it for next year. I'm going to sign up for all the things that give you free things on your birthday. And because I keep forgetting to do that. And I will work on that for next year, so I get all the free things. So, oops, sorry. I don't know why I'm apologizing. No, nobody knew what happened. Follow me on all things. Yeah, exactly. Follow me on all things at Indoob, and go to indoob.com to find ways to connect with us. We are on Facebook. I know I'm barely there, but I'm there. Like the one and wait, what? Oh, join the group at Let me try that again.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm reading this and like there's like some kind of weird editing thing. I'll have to check that out later. Oh, okay. We're like the group Indoob Pod. I think that's how you find us. Whatever. Ask us questions by emailing indoobpod@gmail.com. Please rate, comment, and share the pod on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Pandora, and wherever pods are located. Thank you so much for supporting, listening, stopping by, and pressing play. Tell someone you value that you value them. Live without regrets and live for the folks you love. Please wash your legs, your face, bottoms of your feet, undersides of your dishes. I've been your benevolent host, T. Sterling Watson. And remember, if the world didn't suck, we'd all fall off.
Thanks for listening to the Indoob Podcast, which was recorded from the south side of Wakanda in Little New Indubia on the corner of T'Chaka and MLK Drive, and is part of the Indoob Network. Want more Indoob? Follow on Instagram and Twitter at Indoob, and on Facebook at IndoobPod. You can contact us and send Ask Indoob questions by emailing indoobpod@gmail.com. Want to support or donate? Find the T Public Store or become a patron on Patreon, where subscribing gives you perks and extra things from the Indoob Network. Please subscribe, rate, comment, and share the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, Podbean, and wherever else podcasts are found. And of course, visit indube.com for all of this and much more. Thank you so much for letting us entertain, enlighten, and provide an auditory escape with knowledge and nonsense. Until next time.
Use your words, Chief. Good boy.
This has been another 3SFX production.
Love your extra sound effect there, hitting the desk or whatever you're hitting.
Yeah, it's the desk. Because I can hear it go through the microphone and everything. And yeah, it's cool. Foley work.
Foley work.